Hi everyone, welcome back. Welcome back to Create Every Day in April. Today is April 20th. We have 10 days left before CREDA is over. Are you excited? I wouldn't say I'm excited, but I'm like, yeah, I can't wait for that short break. Usually after CREDA, I kind of vanish for like a week or so. But I have some videos that I'm trying to incorporate into my everyday crafting, but I don't come up here after the morning time, but I need to because I don't like creating my collaboration videos the same day. I like to have them up a little bit earlier because sometimes YouTube will not, the software will not upload stuff right away, and it takes a long time, and then I'm like frantic. So I prefer to have my video at least a day ahead of time, if not 2 to 3 days or a month. That's just how I like it. So today is going to be a really relaxed day for us. This is a image from one of the coloring books that I went crazy over, probably from the Dollar Tree a couple of years ago when I lived in Mississippi. And what I did was I took some of the pages because they were, if you get a coloring book from the Dollar Tree, they're relatively skinny, thin, lightweight paper. And I just took it and made copies of them on harder paper, 65 or even 110. This feels, I don't know, could be 65, maybe 110. I'm not quite sure. So we're going to get started. And these are some roses. And I think I'm going to make them red. But sitting here thinking I could make them like, I pulled out a pink color. I'm going to look for my stems. I always do this every time. Even though sometimes I don't take myself serious when it comes to coloring. Because I need to just go ahead and make a swatch, right? And do it like that. Okay, so I think I got the colors out. We're going to do the stems first. Yep. And just have a chit chat. So I called the doctor's office yesterday. After about 1,000 rings, someone answered. So someone answered and put me on hold, and then the phone hung up. So I called back. No one answered. No one answered. No one answered. No one answered. Call back. No one answered. No one answered. No one answered. Call back, and the lady was like, hold on. And then I guess she transferred, and she was like, okay, how can I help you? So I had 3 things that I needed to talk about. And one of the things happened last year. And she says that message isn't even in the system. Okay. I am going to talk to my doctor whenever I see him and ask him, how do I not be his patient anymore? Because I don't think he's a bad provider, but his team is horrible, in my opinion. And I don't need that. Like, if I'm sick, I need someone that's going to care about me. And I'm not broken, like sick, broken, where I need care often. But when I need the care, I need the care. And I feel like that's an issue. I worked in the medical profession for a long time. And over the time, you can see how number driven everything is, what is it, RVUs or C something, CEUs, RVUs or something like that, the doctor's time. And then they broke it down. And then just like, I remember when they started introducing, back in the day, ICD codes. And those are codes that you put attached to the patient's treatment. And per different treatment, different funds, different money, different things like that. And now, the last when I was in the medical field, and my mom was even learning how to be a billing and coding person. She had just finished the school that she was in before she passed away. I think she was in ICD-10 or finishing 9, going into 10. And everything is a code. So when you call you call the doctor, that's a code. That's a telephone consult or a T-con. if you go to the doctor, they draw your blood, they do an x-ray, they do this, each one of those little things that you think is nothing is different. Talking to the patient, patient assessment. If you assess the patient and everything you discuss, say if you give a pamphlet, that's education and that counts. So every little piece of thing that the doctor does for you is counted differently. And it's, I don't know, it's annoying. Like some doctors kind of just say, forget the system, let me treat my patient. And those doctors are rare and rare and rare. And like I said a few days ago, I don't give a crap about COVID messing with the system. I give a crap that COVID is messing with the system. Like my friend was like, they're having a hard time with COVID right now. And I'm like, that has nothing to do with patient care. If you need more people, because there's a lot of qualified people that are not working. If you need someone to answer the phone, you can hire more receptionists. At the same time, you can't hire receptionists because you don't want people to get sick. So the clinic that I go to was closed down and only doing phone consults. So last year when I went to get my annual exam, I was like, are you guys seeing patients? And she was like, yeah, we're seeing the patients. So I go get my blood drawn, all the other crap I need to get done. And when it comes time for me to get seen by the doctor, which you get your blood drawn and then you go back another time. Like, it's going to be a phone conversation, a phone consult. So she calls and says the doctor's going to be calling you in the next hour. And then he calls. I'm like, this is a waste of time, because all you're doing is listening to me say, oh yeah, I'm doing great or whatever. But patients don't know medical diagnosis if you're a layman. So maybe you have a big bump on your arm. It wasn't a visual, it wasn't a video telephone consult. It was just a regular consult and a regular phone conversation. And you all know that I have chronic back and knee pain. And he was like, okay, I'll send you some medicine. I don't want more medication. I want you to look at my body. Send me to MRI or X-ray or some type of imagery for my body. Don't just shove pills down my throat and think that I'm going to be happy with it, because I'm not a patient that seeks medication for relief. I need to be seen. I need to be treated. I need this. And the thing is, he had asked me before if I wanted physical therapy, and I was like, well, I have a son. And for me, physical therapy, if I could take him with me, then that's fine. But right now, you can't take guests with you to your medical appointments. They're not allowing them to come in, so I can't be treated unless I make like some type of arrangements. And the big roommate, if he worked locally, it would be different, but he doesn't work locally. And his schedule's always changing. So, I just feel like the medical team that is supposed to be my medical team is crap right now. It's crap. I'm going to darken these thorns up some. So yeah, when I got through, I left a telephone message with them. And hopefully he calls back, because the way my insurance is set up, I have two options to see two different areas. But I guess I could always just go to the emergency room and fall out in the floor and start convulsing and spitting and acting a fool. And then I have a whole bunch of tubes and all kinds of stuff down my throat. And then they would be like, well, what's wrong? My knees hurt, or, my allergies are acting up. My skin is irritated, whatever it is. And they're like, oh, she one of those people. And I always say, I hate to waste your time. I hate to waste the doctor's time, because this color is called bronze green, and I really like it. The other color that we use is called vivid green, and that's to do these lighter ones. Yep. So anyway, let's get off the negative train and talk about something positive. Um, I live in Texas and we party hardy, right? So we have this thing called Fiesta. I had never heard of it till I came to San Antonio, but I'm guessing it's in other places maybe, unless your Fiesta was canceled. And it's usually the 20 something of the April. It's usually in April. And I think it's like always the last week in April. The 20. It goes from like I guess 21, 21st of April to maybe the 29th or something like that. So it's a good bit of time. They have parades and all kinds of good eating and things like that. I've never been to one, but the people when I was working here before, they've talked about it. My neighbors talk about it, and they put up decorations and stuff like that. So the school sent out messages saying that we're going to be doing Fiesta parade floats. And of course, I asked the little roommate, did he want to participate? And he says yes. Now, my son is 5. He's not even 5.5 yet. So he's just growing into his fivedom. And he has indicated that he wants to do Thomas the Train float. I've never taken my child to a parade, so he doesn't really understand what a float is, but he's seen floats on TV from cartoon characters and stuff like that. So I'm like, do you really want to do Thomas? So in my head, I'm like, okay, now I got to find this. And so, we're on the phone with Dad, and Dad's like, do something else. Everything doesn't have to be Thomas. And he was like, my son was like, okay, Hot Wheels. And I'm like, okay, like I can work with Hot Wheels better because we can make some flags and some start and finish line flags on the float and put some trees and things like that, and then decorate around the float with some Hot Wheels stuff like that. We could have did the same thing with Thomas, because I was thinking we could have did like the Isle of Sodor, and I could have found a picture online and just printed it up or whatever. So we'll see. I bought some little cars yesterday from the thrift store to destroy. I don't want to destroy his property, but he wants the toys for himself. So that's a problem already, right? Now, I'm not big into shadows and things like that. So if you're here to watch me color and give you some advice on how to make shadows, nope. You're going to have to just enjoy the conversation, I suppose, because it's not, I just like the color. And today, I needed a break from trying to create some things. I am going to be working on a project that I think is going to give me a little bit of a headache, but we'll see. We'll see how that works out. Now, if I were to try to do shadows, you see how this is folding out? So down here would be maybe a little bit darker, and under here would be a little bit like darker from the shading, or maybe lighter, because it would have a different, like right here in this area would have a different color because this petal is folded over on it. So it would definitely not be the same color. And even right here, if you wanted to come across in this part and make it darker, you would definitely need a darker yellow. You could try coloring it over and over and over and over and over and getting a different shade, and then that one. So when you do shadows, you have to just think about natural shadows and how they would look. Like I've did some research into shadows and different colors. My thing is I don't want to do that. Not right now, at least. I don't want to have to worry about that. We're going to use this big side because that little detail was not getting it. So yeah, I'm going to be working on floats the next couple of days. So I'm going to print out some Hot Wheel labels. I'm going to ask my son again today to see what he wants to do. The thing is with the float, like if we make the float, I want to hot glue or tape down the pieces that we use. And so I don't want to ruin his toys that he likes to play with. But we'll see. I looked online, Pinterest, and it wasn't very useful. I mean, it was okay, like, but it didn't give me what I needed. Like, it was not saying, "Hey, look, this is what you really need to achieve this goal of yours." Now, I don't know why I like doing this, but I, for some reason, always want to come in with my orange or yellow whenever I have orange and yellow or yellow out, and kind of I don't know, put some orange in here some kind of way. Just weird. Even with the pink, I'll do it too, so we'll leave this out. I'm gonna make this one pink. Oh no, we're gonna make this pastel violet. What are your plans for the weekend? I have 0 plans this weekend. So if you are a child of the 80s and you watch cartoons, you probably saw Animaniacs with Pinky and the Brain. One of my favorite cartoons of all time, that little section, Pinky and the Brain. Because Brain is a genius, right? And Pinky's supposed to be like crazy, but actually, Pinky's really, really sweet and smart, in my opinion. They don't make cartoons like that anymore. Like, good cartoons, funny, has a meaning to it. I think this is just me thinking out loud, sharing with you. I think the problem now is that people are my age, a couple of years older and a few years younger, 5 up and 5 down, are in those positions. And maybe when we were younger, or maybe even 10 years, we didn't like that. We have bad memories from it, and we've decided to destroy whatever it is. Like, I watched Adventure Time when it was on, and I enjoyed it so much. But when I first watched Adventure Time, I was like, what are these people? What drug are they on? Because I felt like you really need to do drugs to watch it. And then I was coming home from work super late, getting ready for like inspections of our teaching and stuff like that when I was teaching. And or just being drained from teaching. And I watched it one day and I was like, oh. So you gotta be tired or high. It works. But it had like a moral to it. It had a moral to it. It showed you consequences, some violence, of course, because that's what we do, right? And it was really, really a good show. Like that's one of my all-time favorites. If you were to ask me, like, what cartoons would you have in rotation if you can watch the same cartoons over again and they would always be current and updated, I would have to say Adventure Time, Scooby-Doo, and Hey Arnold. Hey Arnold will always have my heart. I don't think it's the coloring of it, the imagery of it hasn't lasted well over time. It looks a little bit grainy, but it's such a good story. It's such a good TV show. I probably have no Hey Arnold, Adventure Time, Scooby Doo. Like, we watched Scooby Doo on Sunday because I had to comb my son's hair, and we watched it for a while. He's like, I don't want to see it. I was like, well, you're gonna watch it today, because usually we watch all the little cartoons that he likes to watch, but Scooby Doo has monsters in it, and so he was scared I was like, Mommy's right here. You ain't gotta be scared. I got you. I'll protect you. And then I was like, the monster is always a bad guy in a costume. You know, like I think he's still a little guy, so he doesn't understand that. So I'm using light violet now. Am I using light violet? Didn't I just use light violet? No. What color did I use? Pastel violet. This does not. Yeah, I guess it does, huh? Yeah, it fades in. I'm going to come right here and just go over this because I feel like I need to. So yesterday, we went looking for some things for the float, and I was like, I'm not going to buy a whole bunch of junk to go on this float because I already have a bunch of junk that I could put on there from my crafty supply or whatever. I went to Tuesday morning. I wasn't impressed. They have these big red stickers on there, right? And so, when you see red, you think clearance. You think good, deep, 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 deep discounts. The thing said original price $4, sale price $4. I was like, oh, y'all pulling a Walmart on us, huh? You're pulling a Walmart. All right, that looks a lot better. And we're just going to come in and do a few of these. You could definitely fussy cut those out if you wanted to. We will probably visit this project again tomorrow because we're at the 20-minute mark. But I'm gonna try to color this last flower, and then I probably will fuzzy cut this out and fussy cut this out. I may actually scan and cut this out. Yeah, I'll see if I can't scan and cut it out. Let's see, which color is this one? Yep, there we go. So whenever I color like this wide piece, I don't need to do any detailing because it's just, for me, it's one color. And then I'll go back in with a darker color and fix this. And I like to come in with a jelly roll pen. I need to go to Joann today, Joann Fabric. I know we all call it Joann's, right? I try to make sure I call it Joann Fabric because if you say Joann's Fabric to Hey Google, it ain't gonna work. It's like, what you want? We don't have that. We don't have her. Who is she? Yeah, and I have been looking for a few craft products, and I'm hoping Joann will have it. Joann Fabrics will have it because I don't want to go back to Hobby Lobby and buy it full price. I prefer to use a coupon. And Michael's, I don't know what is going on with Michael's. And that's all I'll say about that in my Forrest Gump voice. That's all I got to say about now. That's one of my favorite. Tell me in the comment section below, what's one of your favorite movies of all time and why? One of my favorite movies of all time, like could I watch it over and over again? No. But could I watch it and fast forward a few parts? Shawshank Redemption. One of my favorite movies of all time. Shawshank Redemption. Usual Suspects. Love Usual Suspects. What else? Forrest Gump. Forrest Gump is a movie about triumph, in my opinion. Even though he had all those things against him. And it was all by happen chance, just by doing the right thing, right? Running. Listening to your friends. Doing right by them. Yeah, I could watch those movies over and over again. I would have to fast forward a few scenes in Shawshank Redemption. I just can't stomach some of the evilness that they have put in there. For good reason. Usual Suspects is a long thought-provoking movie. Um, I really enjoy it though. It's another movie, Shawshank Redemption, Usual Suspects, Forrest Gump. It's a movie with Kevin Bacon in it. I can't think of the name of it right now, but he has his foot cut because he tried to escape. Very good movie. Very good movie. Another triumph at the, like underdog movie or whatever. He gets his you know, he gets, I don't know, vindication at the end, even though he's, well, you have to see the movie. I can't even think of the movie right now, but very good movie. What else? I haven't said any comedies, huh? Well, I like stand-up comedy versus comic movies. And I like intense drama. But I like happy endings, to be quite honest with you. Is this going to be able to come in? Yeah, let's see if we can't make this come in a little bit. This rose is so loose, like loosey-goosey. I feel like this rose is like if you've ever gotten flowers before and you try to keep them and then all of a sudden they just start falling apart. That's what I feel like is happening with some of these petals on this rose. It's kind of like, I'm just going to go ahead and start to wilt. I have had to throw away some wilted flowers because I don't have a green thumb. My lemon tree is no more. All of my plants in the backyard are dead except for this rose bush. I'll take a picture of it and post it somewhere, I guess. But anyway, I am done. This is our CREDA for today. Just a quick, 27-minute coloring and me rambling on about random stuff. But I think we're going to come back and visit this project again tomorrow. So I want to say thank you all for watching. I hope that you've enjoyed the chit chat for today. And until next time, happy crafting.